Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. What up, Bandidos? What is good? Brand new Division 2 week, April 22nd, and it's a big week we have ahead of us, don't we? You guys know what's happening around here? Well, tomorrow we're going to get the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC reveal. How much details? I don't know, but we're going to get some details, more details. We're also going to get a look ahead on Year 7. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to put something up over here. Making noise in the background. Yeah, so Year 7, maybe a full roadmap, maybe a partial roadmap. I think it's sort of going to be like a celebration stream too, because I think it's theoretically Division Day. So it also appears to be a pre-recorded video. So I don't expect anything in too much length. So probably a couple of short dev interviews and then a trailer. I don't know. We'll see. But they do have it posted on their Ubisoft channel, and it seems to be a pre-recorded video because it's going to go live, and you can mark for a notification, but it's not a live stream, if that makes sense. So anyways, we'll be watching it here, and we will have Twitch drops as well. Some caches, backpack trophies. I'm not sure if I got an image from them yet. Let me check that real quick. Let me log into my account. See if they've provided images. I have seen images out there already. It looks like it's a couple of backpack trophies, but I didn't see anything from them officially. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't see anything. So they haven't posted on the account. They must have posted it somewhere else. I gotta find that image, but they're gonna go for a full week though. So the campaign will start on the 23rd and end on the 28th. So that's nice. Twitch drops, get your Twitch drops. So yeah, so that's what we got going on this week. And that's really exciting. We're also kind of halfway through the season, so we're going to be starting to shift our focus on closing up and then preparing for the master difficulty. We still have one exotic out there. So let's see here. We're the Dark Zone XP event here. Let's take a look at this. I don't really Dark Zone, but looks like you can get 100 levels in there with the double XP multiplier. So that's nice. That's nice for you XP players. It is specifically the Dark Zone. It says Dark Zone XP event. Yeah, it says in the Dark Zone. So you might have to go in there. Not just conflict mode. And then next week we got Hollywood. We got a triple XP event. Make sure you log in for that, especially if you're new or returning players. And season XP. So one of the things we're going to be doing around here is, so got a couple of videos to get out of the way. So this will be a couple of days out. What up, Hook? We're going to be doing a handbasket today. Video. That's what we're going to focus on today as far as builds, because I haven't really dug in deep and it seems to be a good weapon. And then tomorrow we have the live stream, and then I'll do a recap after that and thoughts and go into all of that stuff. And then from there, we got to get back on track for new and returning players. We need to get them ready for Brooklyn. So there's a lot of new players that'll be coming in. We're already starting to get them, right? People saying, hey, I'm a returning player. Set the game aside a long time ago. I'm coming back. So we need to get them ready. We started the new player gameplay walkthrough with my 4th character. We're at about like level 15, so we need to push that to level 40, and then catch all those, tiny little changes they had made at the beginning of this year, this seasonal year, whatever you call it. gaming year, calendar year 6. And Hyper Blue is one of them. If you don't know, I already have a channel dedicated on my YouTube. It's just a playlist, actually. It's a playlist on my YouTube channel that is for new and returning players. So you should definitely check that out. All I'm doing is what I'm doing is updating that content. And it's pretty up to date, so you know. But I'm catching some of these last round changes they made, but I'm also putting it into one video. And the ones that are on there now, what up, sweet? Are in a series of videos. So we'll be doing that, updating the lingo and whatnot, streamlining it as much as possible with the concept of, hey, you do everything in this video, you're ready for the DLC. So we need to do that soon, right? Because it takes time to get there, and we're going to take that time into consideration for people with the tips and tricks that we'll stick in that video. So yeah, you're looking to gear up. Yeah, you know, countdown is the best way. That's always going to be the best way too. Yeah, countdown's a good place to be. Hey, quick question for everybody: who's farmed the hand basket? Is it dropping as a named item in the MMR category, or is it only dropping from the loot goblin? You got it from eggs? Maybe because you Ronan, were you still on that project, or I don't have my the Easter egg project anymore. So you might have I might have finished my projects. You got it from the loot goblin, huh? Rich, welcome, Rich. Rich is in the house.
Huck, that's my boy.
Welcome in, brother. You hadn't seen it in Countdown, yeah. Has anybody seen the turmoils? Let's see if we can. I've been farming this stupid loot goblin a couple of times this morning, and he hasn't been coughing anything interesting up. Let's go see if we can catch him. It's kind of boring doing this, though. I hate doing it on a live stream, but I need this. 40 months, squatty!
Hostile control point nearby.
Huck, that's my boy.
Appreciate you, man. If you guys don't know Tito, that's Tito who pops in every now and again. He's Tito the Bandito. And he's got an attitude. Are they not in the loot pool? The Exodus gloves should be in the loot pool once you unlock them. But sometimes they get behind on that, or they miss it. And the thing about these devs is that they're not very fast at fixing bugs or catching bugs. So yeah. Yeah, sweet. I just put one out. Actually, you should check it out. I got a couple of them, but the most recent one is here. This is a very big video. It's the best builds right now for the Division 2. It's updated, tailored to the newest metas and all that stuff. So there it is for you. It's like the third video in, something like that. I mean, the third build in. Really good, really good. Yeah, the Pestilence is you could run it on almost anything, to be honest with you. Back in the day, like, if you look at old Pestilence builds, yeah, I'm not seeing anything here, guys. Let's just go create builds. Tailor this build. If you look back in the day at Pestilence builds, like the thing was, and I'm sort of against this now, but the thing was like, we used to all build into ticks, like get the biggest tick possible, you know, 1 million tick per tick, you know, the damage over time. Or 1.3, and, you know, pushing it as high as possible. And I don't know what we were thinking, because it's kind of stupid. You know, like at some point my mind shifted too, and it was before the latest buffs, but I started running it with Umbra like 2 seasons ago, and it was just like, you know what, like the ticks are nice, and that's why we run that gun. That's the only reason why we ran the gun, and that's probably why, actually. So it's not that we were all stupid, but it's because the gun itself wasn't that great. So we'd run it for the ticks. It had a slow rate of fire and a horrible reload and horrible handling, so it wasn't, you know, good as a shooter, even though it had a strong base damage. because with all of those other things going for you, you get flanked and killed. Anyway, so we build into these high ticks, and it was still a good weapon back then. So even though it had its issues, right? But now with the buffs, it becomes a good DPS weapon. And so my point is that your time to kill is always going to be better from impact versus that damage over time. It's going to be way better. So don't over spec into those ticks or the damage over time, because your bullets are going to kill them way faster, and then it's going to spread the plague faster, and then you can get multiple waterfalls. You're going to clear content faster if you build into the weapon, which in turn is going to make stronger ticks anyways. You're just not going to get peak tick damage, but you don't want it because they're all going to be dead anyways before the ticks make their way around. So that's kind of the trend, the latest trend in the Pestilence department. So, but not everybody's mentally there yet. I think some people still think that, you know, the way to build a Pestilence is a 1.8 million tick. It's kind of not. It's kind of not. What up, Xavier? The event is going to be at 9 a.m. in the morning, so we'll be logging in at about 8. Yeah, we'll start early. We'll get the party started. We'll drink our mojitos. Morning mojitos. Yeah, you know what? I think we're about due. We're pretty close to being due for a new playlist. I try to make the playlists line up with new seasons, but because the seasons are really long and I don't want to like die of listening to the same playlist over and over. That's Pacific Standard GB. Sorry, 9 a.m. West Coast. So I end up doing them about every 3.5 months now. Kind of get ahead. So it also helps me not cram everything because I create new intros and I create new, you know, branding stuff for new seasons as well. So that kind of helps me spread it out a little bit. So yeah, we're a couple of weeks out though. That makes sense. But definitely ahead of next season. Okay, so Handbasket, really good gun. This is the build. This build right here is I was running it with the White Death. I was soloing Legendary with it. It's in that build video I just posted on chat a few moments ago. And this thing fucking kills, man. It was hitting 30 million with the Turmoil knee pads, right? So I'm 1 shot, 2 kills at 30 million. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Solo Legendary was nice because you can hit an NPC and kill a Warhound with 1 bullet. So you kill an NPC and a Warhound, but you don't waste your shot on the Warhound. So you can maintain your Headhunter stack and your Determined stack. That's crazy good. But anyways, so we can go to the Handbasket. One of the things is, what up, Determined? I'm super excited for tomorrow, man. Yeah, we're going to get on a little bit early. We're going to log in at 8 a.m. Pacific time and hype things up around here. Oh, you did? No box? Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? So with this one, you know, I see a lot of people running it no scope, and I get the appeal because you're kind of running it like an M1A CQB or something like that. I mean, we could run it like this and then talk about it for a few minutes. I feel like you're a little bit in a disadvantage by doing this because you have to wait for your crosshairs to close. And not only, and on top of that, it is the lowest tier sniper, right? As far as damage, they raised it, but it's still the lowest tier. So you are missing out on 30% headshot damage. You know, once you get the ball rolling, none of that matters. But that first shot, we don't want to be very painful, right? So one of the other things we can do is run that Achilles pulse and see if we can boost this damage up on this one. So what we're trying to do effectively is get that first shot to hit 10 million. So no, I didn't get to go to Massive GB. No, I didn't. They don't like me.
Hostile control point detected.
They're very sensitive. We were just talking about that in chat. Yeah, they, for some reason, they just have a problem with, you know, if you don't always agree with them, if you don't always praise their decisions, then, you know, they don't like that, right? It's kind of petty, but I'm not going to change. You know what I mean? Like, I've made a commitment to the community a long time ago. You got to be crazy to choose devs over the community. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to do that, no matter how sensitive the devs are. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense for me. And so I say, like, hey, the Division 2 is a beautiful game, you know, but the devs don't manage the community very well. It's true. Everybody agrees with that, whether they're willing to admit it or not. But I'm going to say it how it is. And they don't like that. It's obvious they don't like it, you know? There's other things that they do too. And so I always kind of joke around about it. I was like, oh, but I'm like one of the biggest Division 2 streamers out there, right? Like crazy. #1 streamer on some days, top 3 typically, right? And so it's crazy for them not to invite me to that. But hey, it's their prerogative, you know? It's just, but I do think it's crazy because it shows how petty they are. That's very unprofessional, in my opinion. You know? Oops, I didn't do that. I needed to hit this. He's on fire. I should take that fire off. It's kind of annoying. Because it didn't allow me to get that headshot because he was flailing. You see how hard it is? I mean, I know you guys are on PC, might have an easier time, but it's hard without the scope when they're at distance. You know what I mean? And so you lose your distance advantage.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I'm reloading! Hit their flank!
I feel like you might not be able to run these with the turmoil knees either. I don't know. I mean, that's what we're testing here, but... I need to get my momentum up. I'm not getting that roll. Yeah, see, I have a hard time landing that headshot, and I feel like that's a big disadvantage on the sniper. Because, like, part of me says, like, if you want to run and gun, you're better off with the 1886, aren't you? Because it can do that. It can run and gun in one-shot kill. And so that's why I've been wanting to spend time with this because it works, but I'm trying to figure out where it is, you know, where its position is gonna lie in the game. Because the 1886, although you might say, oh, it only has 8 rounds, it's inferior. The 1886 is a single round reload. So it sort of, in a way, has infinite rounds, you know, because you can shoot, reload. There's always this time in between targets, so you're gonna reload anyways, and it allows you to take advantage of that. Anyways, I am used to playing no scope with sniper. So what you do, if you haven't figured this out, is when you move, your crosshairs open up, right? And so you're just kind of playing and you're estimating. But if you move, you see how my crosshairs, this is not as bad. It depends on how fast you move. See how the crosshairs are there? So you kind of got to estimate, right? Which isn't the worst thing. The closer you are, the easier it is to estimate. But the 8x scope plays pretty good at this distance. and you don't have to do the whole estimating thing, you know?
Agent incapacitated.
And so I feel like it kind of gets me, the RPM on this thing kind of kills me. Because if you miss that estimated shot, to get that second shot out there to recover, not easy to do at 60 RPMs. The original, and you know, unfortunately I deleted it.
Heavily armored hostile.
But the original SVDs are actually pretty good. They one-shot kill too. I might turn off the whole burn thing eventually. Because this is kind of annoying. I don't know what I'm gonna do though. The problem is, like, I don't mind having it on the drone, but I don't want it on the Achilles pulse. Let me take the burn off. And then we'll put Reaper. When you're playing solo, Reaper scan's pretty good.
Contacts.
It's an easy way to maintain high weapon handling and crit. So here we go. We should 12 million first shot. Not bad, right?
Gotta go for it.
I'll give you cover.
Yeah, so I'm gonna feature the Achilles pulse here soon. I don't know if I'm gonna do it with this weapon, but it's a really nice thing to do. It's boosting that first shot damage, which is your weakest. So pairing up the Achilles pulse with the turmoil knee pads is amazing. You don't need to use it after that, but I'm just using it.
Let's not waste them.
Take your time.
So I'm probably gonna put the 8x scope on it. I think I play faster with it, but for those who don't want it, it looks like you don't need the damage, the 30% headshot damage. You're cool without it. So let's put that scope on, and then what we're gonna do is we'll start tailoring back the damage on the build.
Heavily armored hostile.
You know what I mean? Like, we obviously have sufficient damage, so we'll start adding more utility in. I don't think we need more weapon handling though, because
Unlocked.
the weapon hosts most of that. Apparently it's the year ahead too, determined. They did say that on their post. Year 7 showcase. Are there any surprises for year 7 outside of the DLC? That's the question. You know. Oh, that reminds me. Did they put out a new bundle? I don't typically like to feature that stuff, but I'm curious on what it is. Go Bad bundle. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Right? It's weird, but it's cool looking. They've been doing a really good job on their design, huh? Kudos to the design team over there. Palette. Let me strip my apparel here. That's pretty sick. 650 though? Oh, I was gonna do a whole video. I need to remember to do that. Did you guys see that the EU's changed the laws into gaming currency? Did you guys catch that? I've been on a spending freeze with these guys. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, I like it. The other stuff is kind of so-so. I mean, one is a tank top. The pants, I don't like those pants. They're kind of weird. We have a tank top, but at least it's all black. The shoes are, I don't get. But I definitely like that. The chest piece, that's pretty cool. It's got a couple of bullet. I like that, actually. That's pretty sick. Yeah, Brooklyn, we're going to learn more about it tomorrow, Ronan. It's supposed to come out probably in May. That's what we're going to officially learn. What up, Pipsy? Yeah, this is the current build that I'm running right now. And then we're gonna tailor it in a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna if it's worth changing. To be honest with you, it works pretty good. But we're gonna explore other options. $50 USD, 80 Canadian, huh? Do you guys see I put the top 27 hottest third-person shooters coming out in 25, 26. That video just went live this morning. Be sure to check that out. Some pretty cool games coming. I'm really into these kind of these John Wick fluid shooters. Right now there's a couple of games that are in there that are like that, where you know you can do those crazy kung fu moves, whatever, while shooting and stuff like that. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. So I'm gonna post this dude. So what we want to do is be able to take him out. And we did. 15 mil, bro. So we got 5 million surplus. That was a crit, but the crits are usually about the same because we're not running much crit damage. So I'm not running the coils because it makes that Achilles shot, all because of the Achilles shot. And it's a pretty important shot. But you could be catching these guys on fire if you want to. But we don't really need to. We're one-shot killing them and killing two dudes at the same time. It works out. So it looks like we got some room to play with. So we could look at running, you know, we could look at the Exodus gloves. We could run the Memento backpack, which wouldn't be bad. Add some survivability. And there's no expertise on this weapon. I'm not running damage targets out of cover. Got some random shit going on here. They seem to be working okay for me. Running. But in the Division 2, bugs, in-game bugs end up being features. So that's the way I look at it. What's not bug? You know what I mean? What's the other bug that's laying around? The broken armor bug.
Supply room access unlocked.
What up, Ulux? I might jump into Legendary once I figure out this build in a minute. I'm just kind of testing the waters here on its limits.
As long as you're around, there's hope.
This is so boring. Want to play I Spy?
Will you remember me?
I think it is. It says right here, I mean, you might just be saying it funny, and I'm having a hard time interpreting what you're saying, but it says 50% of the damage you deal goes to another enemy. So you lose 15% on your enemy target, and then it's going to take that 50% and apply it to another target, technically at random. And every time, every shot, it could choose a different target. So it can work its way around the room within 30 meters, which is less apparent on a one-shot kill build, but on a RPM build, you'll see it ticking on random targets. Why is he making a video about something being bugged that seems to be working for everybody? So that the devs nerf it? Is that what he's trying to get them to do?
Civilians in danger.
Sounds like hatericious. Don't do that. Let people play.
Hostile control point identified.
Will you remember me?
I don't like this skin. Clone skin? A little better. A little more natural. Okay, now the question is, can we rock without vigilance? So what if we went ninja bike? That opens up. Maybe the Eagle's Grasp. Would they give us now? We don't need rifle damage. That's the thing. Like, what do you take, right? I mean, I guess if we run this, it's like running 4 of these. So we could do that and maybe get a reload and then pick up some extra cores. I think you should probably watch, what's his name? IKEA. He did a whole breakdown on it, and I think he did a pretty good job on it. So there's multipliers that are going into effect from the turmoil knees. So it's not a 1-for-1. There's other things too. You could pick up team buffs on that damage. You could pick up damage to targets out of cover off of that damage. You could pick up additional amplified damage on that damage. So multipliers will apply to that additional damage. Whether it's attended or not is who cares. It's at our fucking benefit. You know what I mean? Is it hurting your damage or is it helping your damage? If it's helping your damage, don't complain, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't get that. Why? Will the devs come back and nerf the knee pads? Maybe they come back and course correct some things, but they don't have the budget to do it on a regular basis, right? They're pretty bad with their bug management. So they kind of do it as a roll up, like a seasonal roll up, right? They go around and balance everything. So I'm sure they're keeping a list. If it is bugged and we are getting a benefit that's unintended, then it's on a list somewhere and we'll probably see it adjusted at the beginning of next season. But I doubt they're going to put a patch in today. And if they did, they missed it. You know what I mean? It's hurting it. I see what you're saying. Okay, that's interesting. In what scenario that? Yeah, that's interesting because I'm not seeing it hurt. There's no substitute for the knee pads. No, they're very unique. I mean, you can run something different. The knee pads are serving one purpose. They're not providing damage. They're, in a way, they're adding like this negotiator's dilemma effect. But if you don't want to, if you don't have the knee pads, just you have so many options. You can run another hot shot piece. You can run the Zoo for bigger mag. You can run the Fox's Prayer for more damage to targets out of cover. You do have a lot of options. Another Habsburg for that 20% marksman rifle damage, depending on if you're running the backpack.
They don't tell you about this.
Yes, you weren't covered.
Yeah, so it looks like we lost the damage there. That's gonna take forever to. Oh wait, let me get my.
Get them slain.
Kill that
Give up,
dude.
asshole.
Try to get the overcharge here real
Immediate
quick.
medical assistance needed.
How the hell did he get up somewhere?
I don't want to shoot a red guy because, well, I guess I can shoot him.
Agent
Late.
killed.
See, that RPM gets me killed right there. That RPM got me killed.
Hostile
Yeah, you know,
control point detected.
I wouldn't just slap them on any build anyways, Ronin. Like, they're not like best in slot. You know what I mean? The way I described it is like any build that's got overkill. So there's a lot of builds that are way overpowered in this game. For this game. Our builds are pretty fucking weak in the Division 2 compared to any other game. But you know what I mean? Put that into perspective. Like, so like Striker. Striker's got so much overkill. There's all these rules, these ridiculous rules that people put on Striker. It's all fucking nonsense. Run any 4 pieces of Striker you want. Run crits, don't run crits. You're fucking strong with Striker compared to anything else, right? So my point is, Striker's got so much overkill. Throw him on Striker. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 extra bullet. Who cares? 2 extra bullets. You got so much extra damage, you need to figure out what to do with it. And that's a great way to distribute that damage. I don't know. I haven't tested it on Heartbreaker. Negotiator is kind of wishy-washy, kind of on the edge. It was okay on Negotiators. It wasn't my favorite. Striker is so easy to just throw it on Striker. You got so much extra damage. You know what I mean? You shouldn't even notice. You know what I mean? And for sure, Determined. Determined's the other ones. Or any sniper build, Determined or not, right? But any sniper build, the snipers are really overpowered in this game. Extremely overpowered. Headshot kills are really hard to get, but Determined neutralizes that, of course, which is why we all run it. But that's another one that works. It'll probably work pretty good on rifle builds. Have we tried it on a rifle build? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we have done it on a rifle build, but we'll have to check that out too. That could be interesting. Because with rifles, you got a little extra headshot damage in there. Okay, we just need to test this real quick. I have a feeling this backpack's not working. So we need to overcharge. And then we need to pick a clean. I missed my shot because now that person's fucking hiding. Oh, we got it. Right on the edge. It was a crit, unfortunately, though.
Reinforcements.
Just
en
over
route.
10 million. That's great news, though. We're close. So we'll test it again without a crit. Got no audio. Isn't that awesome when that happens? Speaking of new features, Ronin, that's a new feature. That's an in-game. That's a bug that becomes an in-game feature. Did deathly silencer silence the gun
Take him down.
that only the enemy can hear.
Just
Heavily armored hostile detected.
That's actually a really bad bug. It kills me, man. I can't. I can't stand that bug. That's the one bug. I can tolerate a lot of bugs. Actually, I can tolerate a lot of bugs. Oh, you locks.
Detecting.
So kind, so
That's
kind.
my boy.
Congrats, everybody. Got a Ulux gift. I can tolerate a lot of bugs, but the audio bug, it takes away the immersion from the game.
Take the fight to them. Pin him down.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
So although this is working, I'm not sure it's worth it. I mean, you're on the edge of damage. And I don't really feel like I'm gaining much. You know what I mean? We're getting a little bit of armor on kill, I guess. But we could also just run, let's try this one. Let's run what do you call it?
Access unlocked.
Get the name of it. Palisades. Or we can run, might even be better, is actually running a Habsburg with, instead of Vigilance, run it with Bloodsucker. Hey, Ronin, you know what we should try to do? We could do this too a little bit later, but put on the Achilles Pulse with that build and double up that first shot because you're on overcharge. So the thing about I'm sure you know this, but the Achilles Pulse sucks when it's not on overcharge, right? You end up getting the ankle, something stupid. The reveal will be at 9 a.m. officially, Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. You didn't catch that.
It's alright not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it.
What we're looking for.
When you trust the not knowing,
Oh, there's my paratrooper. I was looking for this.
well beyond detection.
We need to try that. And then a backpack.
Where I was searching for the meaning,
Like a Habsburg would be ideal. And then we have two options. So Bloodsucker on a Habsburg. That's like armor on kill in a way, right? And then the other one is Palisades to get real armor on kill. And then we can choose to go Vigilance or not. I feel like bonus armor ended up being better than because it keeps on giving. You know what I mean? Like the thing about Vigilance is that once you kick in your Headhunter, like Vigilance isn't working for you anymore. Yeah, right on, Ronan, man. I'll catch you later, bro. Good to see you back, by the way. All right, let's see. Let's start with putting back on the Habsburg we had, okay? And then what I want to do is, real quick, is I've been meaning to do this. This is the regular SVD. It's quite a bit different. Wow, I didn't realize it was that different. It's half the damage, but the RPM is pretty fucking good. Let's see if we can get it to work with the turmoil. we might have to daisy chain some shots between the Nemesis and SVD, which I don't mind doing. But having that RPM is a big advantage. Cool down, I gotta wait.
Fucking guard duty?
I guess it gives a head, didn't it? Oh, he moved right as a
control
fucking
point nearby.
dick.
I got your back. You want to see what I can do?
Okay, so now we got our headshot damage. I didn't quite get it.
I need a new place for this rig!
Reinforcements incoming.
Stay out of DC! They rip... Deploy...
The audio is awesome. Reset the game again.
Grenade out!
Gonna come out overcharge real quick.
Get over there! I've lost eyes on target!
Let's get that head.
I'll destroy it!
Damn, too fast.
Don't have a shot!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
That's probably
Not going anywhere.
Getting too close!
done it in the past though.
Think we're helpless, huh?
But the turmoil might be throwing it off. Let me take that off real quick.
Out of ammo!
This guy is so cranked up.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down.
Pick me up!
Don't worry! I got you!
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Ooh. You're being tough here. You should be hitting that right here.
I'll crush it. You gotta pull out now. Reloading here.
Ah.
Watch for an ambush.
When they're on frenzy, they're a little bit harder to snipe. I'm not gonna lie. They move so fast. It's not their necessarily their running speed. It's more of how they twitch. They twitch faster too.
You are now group leader. Another agent is now in your group. Incoming hostiles detected.
The tank. Okay, so we got that active. Now let's try it on this guy. That one's on the next.
Agent down. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Turret. Oh, there's 2 turrets over there.
Serious trauma detected.
Hope it hurts like hell.
The RPM is nice on it. Didn't run out of ammo. That's the problem with the SVDs. You run out of ammo. Which is, well, you don't just kind of, it's easier when you have audio, but you don't just really want to lay on the trigger. You want to find that cadence. It's typically 3-4 shot cadence. Like whack, 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 whack. Get that shot out. Get that headshot in there. First one staggers, second one kills. First one staggers, second one kills. That's kind of how they play, and it's fun. I like that. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna put back on the other one now. Okay, we'll put on Habsburg and then bonus armor. So Bloodsucker.
Can't see him.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Got you.
By doing that, we can play a little
Hostile
bit more.
supply convoy nearby. Incoming hostiles
Aggressive.
detected.
Even if you're playing from one spot, you can just stay out of cover a little more. Get that bonus. I feel like I'm doing more with my backpack right now. Making a little more use out of the Achilles pulse too. Okay, we'll put back on the knee pads to see if we get double bonus armor. That would also be pretty fucking cool. What's up, Grumpy? Yeah, early stream. I was up crack of dawn this morning. Sometimes when I get up so early, it's like if I don't stream now, I'm not going to stream later because I'll be passed out.
Supply room access unlocked.
Right on, we did it. Good job, Lux. Let's go get another one. Alright. Let's go check out this one. Now that I got the knee pads. Hey, Grumpy, it looks like tomorrow's going to be a pre-recorded video. And all our Euro friends. We don't have any friends.
You are no longer in a group.
Ulux, what happened?
Hostile control point identified.
Oh.
I got this.
What was he? He was shooting at his friend there for a second, huh?
I'll set up my turret.
Watch that movement.
Watch yourself. Back up.
You have been promoted to group leader.
Okay, so I want to lose my
You are now
character.
group leader. Another agent has joined your group.
Take it off. Put it on. So we can test our first shot here. Just under 9.5. So I think if we ran a red 4 on that. Jesus Christ!
Immediate medical assistance needed.
2 fucking fire grenades?
Agent out of action.
That's okay. I'm
An
gonna
agent needs
switch
assistance.
this up.
Agent killed.
Put a red core on or something. Yeah, I'm playing around with the handbasket. Trying to figure out where it fits in my life. Oh, we have incoming repairs there. That was a problem. Because we were so close. I'd like to keep 1 armor core if I could. Yeah, Achilles' handbasket. It was working. It works fine with the a vigilance. So I'm testing it without vigilance. I think we were hitting 15 million with vigilance. First shot. Achilles. Trying to play around with different versions of it. Yeah, I need to do scouts too. I didn't finish last week's. Last week's was fucking annoying. Trying to get us to shoot all those heavies.
Cover won't save it. Wait. Somebody else take the fire.
Leave it alone!
I'm blowing up.
It's funny that they're still giving away ears with this kind of project, huh? Do we win anything? Any prizes?
Watch the blood.
Oh, I hate that you fast travel to a safe house and that puts you on cooldown. It's annoying.
Cover behind the tracks. Keep that asshole.
Serious trauma detected.
a little bonus over there.
I'll watch out for you. I'm gonna destroy it. Watch out, come on! Wide open target!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Get away from me! You get shot for a target. What the hell?
Immediate medical
That
assistance
hurt.
needed. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Oh no, I wish I had a crosshairs. I mean, we could just keep the way I'm playing. Basically scoping it all anyways. I just don't really. I'm not really digging it as a no scope. You know, I feel like that's 1886 world with it.
Are they down?
Oh, those bullets from right through. Get some zoom in there, huh? When I go center mass, it doesn't really matter, you know. But for that first shot at distance, yeah. But I don't know, maybe it's my eyes, but without this going no scope
Armored hostile
on
detected.
the SVD and trying to pick that distance shot off, it feels like I'm at a disadvantage. I have a hard time seeing that head at that range. So I needed some zoom. We could try the crit scope too. But,
You are no longer in a group. Supply room access unlocked.
yeah, I mean, they really need to rework their scopes. Oh man, so old. So old our scopes. Yeah, they're really not that far apart in damage, huh? I mean, it depends on what you consider far, but I mean, anywhere north of 1 million is pretty good on a sniper. Oh, you're at a conference? How are you playing at a conference? How are you doing that? Tomorrow, Spartan. Tomorrow, yep. The links are, you can reserve whatever notifications, whatever, at the link above in the chat. Appreciate you coming hanging out, supporting the cause. I'm not sure this is even worth it, you know, the Bloodsucker. I think we might as well just stay full Habsburg and just, it's just easy peasy, nothing to worry about. Should we see if we can pull off Roosevelt Island? Let's see if we can do that. Be a good test. Biko! What does the 8x scope? No scope? White Death. You locked your gifting again? The whole chat's gonna be members. All right, let's see if we can pull this off. We should. 15 million, depends on who we pick on the first target. We could also use the Nemesis to start things off too. I like to get that purple lady at the very least. Let's see if I can find her. Purple drone operator. Yeah, see, the donut isn't the greatest at distance, right? Stupid donut. Put the Uber right there. Activate this. That. Must not hit the head. 3 mil? What's that about?
They've launched the drone. Hit 'em.
Look, I hit it. Yeah, see, that's the problem with that fucking scope.
Serious trauma detected. Agent vital signs
Better just
0.
start like this. I appreciate the follow there.
You've got your objective.
Let me put on the other
Don't let
scope.
anything stand in your way.
I must have hit something because that was 3 million. Wasn't big papa damage. Oh, the new SVD. Ah, gotcha. What up, back boy? Bag boy? Oh, you locked. You're coming in hot.
Hawk, that's my boy.
Kicking in 1,000 Mexican pesos. Appreciate you, man. Love the love. Everybody give you locks a nice little like there. Thanks, man. Just for that, you got to have a good conference. Good time at your conference. I hope your conference doesn't hold you for the reveal tomorrow. We're gonna have a big reveal tomorrow. Okay, let's wait for that cooldown. Yeah, eventually bag. Yeah, they haven't announced. It's on their list of things to do on the Lexington, giving it to the community again, but they haven't figured out how or when. Yeah. So hopefully next season, but we don't really know. So we want her. There it is. 14 mil, baby.
Right there. Right there.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh,
Agent killed.
fuck. That scope is a little aggressive.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything
There's
stand
no
in
happy
your way.
place, you know? Because that's... What is the zoom on this one? Isn't it... It's the same as the other one, right? Yeah, it sucks. There's no happy place. I'm going to have to take the 8x scope because that's a little aggressive to play fast. So I'm just gonna have to do a better job of taking that long shot. That, I mean, it only matters once, right? After that, you're going for the body anyways. So this one's basically the same damage. 30% versus what is the other one? 45? Yeah, 15% headshot damage is actually a lot different. But we should be plenty. Yeah, no problem, Bag. Hopefully it comes soon. You're not the only person to have it on their wish list. The little guy, yeah, except the trade-off is this little guy. Is that it's crits, you know? It's just the worst thing in the world, but at least it's variable, isn't it? It's a decent pointer, though. Let's see if we can nail it. Oh, you're talking about the optimal range one? Oh, this one. Oh yeah, good call. It's got the dot in the middle. Hey, maybe we like this one better. Let's try it. Good call. Yeah. I mean, we missed the first shot. That's what you don't want to do. But hey, it is better. Good call. Yeah, I think that's the way to go probably, because you got that variable zoom. I do feel like it's a disadvantage to have no zoom on the sniper in many cases. I do like playing no scope. It's fun. God, still though, we need something. I don't like that I missed that first shot. I guess is my point. You know what I mean? It felt like we were honed in, but that is nice. It's nice to have the option. See how this one, you have nice elevation, which you don't need in this game, but it doesn't have that little red dot in the side. If we put this one on. It's not as zoomed, but at least you have that little red dot. I know I gotta get gooder. Can I get gooder and have a scope, a better scope too? Somebody? All right, let's. We got to build. This is good. Let's tease it out. And let's do our scouts. All right, so we're over here. Let's track this on screen. We got to kill one more big dude up in the triangle. This is a guy hanging out around here. Sometimes here. Let's try this one. Are you on Xbox, Bag? You play on Xbox? That'd be the first condition. Yeah, I like playing with the community. I do it usually on legendary stuff or special events. But when I'm build crafting, I don't.
Broadcast detected.
Just because you'd be annoyed. Because I'm like testing shit, going back and forth, little safe houses. Oh, you are. That's great. Add me. I'll give you my little username. Adam has a friend send me a message. Adam has a friend that sent me a message or something like that. And we got several clans. Best place to do that is to jump in over at Discord. If you can. Oh, that reminds me. Get your builds up. Get your builds up. Because I'm going to be doing another round of community builds, Discord builds. If you don't know what I'm talking about. We have a channel on Discord. I'll put a post up if I summed up today. It's looking for a heavy. Huh? We put up a channel on YouTube, or on Discord, where you can share your favorite builds. And you can go and peruse other people's favorite builds if you're looking for ideas. No real requirements, just to post your build and tell us why you love it. And then I'll go through there and pick out the ones that I think the community will find interesting for the current state of the game. So there's lots of builds in there right now, but I just want to say, like, if you got any that you're liking, especially, and you haven't posted, make sure you do so. It'll probably be like a Thursday, Friday video because, you know, next couple of days we're pretty booked around here for content. What's up, Rogue? Glad you caught us.
Hostile control point detected.
We are here. Is that you?
I got this one.
Back?
Motherfuckers.
You what? That's a heavy right there. All right. Oh, another left. It's me and you, hombre. Yay! We finished that stupid project. I hated that one. Okay, last one. Delta Oscar Whiskey. DOW and take down valuable enemy targets. Oh, sounds like a bounty. I hate that the turrets don't work in the rain. Hate that. Right on back. Appreciate you, man. I'll be sure to add you. Where we going? Bounties. Okay. So it's got to be in here. Hopefully I have one. Shit.
Target near you.
Roger that. Tux on the move. People all aggro me, man. Fuck. I'm shooting, I promise you. God damn. I can get a shot off that. Fuck.
Agent vital
No, I can't
signs
just kill him.
0.
Pedrelas. Isn't that right? Yeah, I hope that they announced that too. We were just talking about it. Ye old Lexington. Yeah, in the meantime, use the chameleon, man. It's pretty fucking good right now. It's my assault rifle of choice. Legendary, solo, heroic, whatever. The only downside of it is that you can't run it with the Centurion holster, and I like that holster.
Hostile control point identified.
Yeah, I'm really liking that. Yeah, I'm really liking it with the X's close. You don't have to think about it or anything like that. It just you're just going around kicking ass. Sometimes you get the extension, sometimes you don't.
Detected.
We should run the regular SVD as a backup.
Agent deceased.
One hit me. I don't know if it's the best weapon for a bounty, actually. Let me bolster this. I want to try this with the Achilles pulse, too. Oh, gotta reactivate that bounty. Well, yeah, the RPMs are nuts on that little thing too, you know? Unfortunately, I don't fucking have it in my bag. Of course I don't.
Agent in need of backup.
Let's run this. You get a lot of crazy rushers here.
Target near you.
Yeah, a lot of people discount the chameleon because they don't calculate the buffs as part of the ordeal, but that's sort of the point of the weapon. And it's pretty easy to get those
Hostile control
buffs.
point detected.
You just have to shoot center mass and you get 90% weapon damage. By the time you lose your buffs, the whole game is over. Like, if you fight legendary, it's almost even easier because your targets are so fucking tanky. You get those stacks up really easy. Come on here, drone. Wrong way. What up, Pearl? Yeah, the problem with like the spreadsheets is they don't take talents into the equation, and that's what the chameleon is. It's all talent. So people will say they're stronger ARs, but that's because they have to go no talent. So you bring talents into the game and then try to say Optimus is better. I don't know. I'm a big Bounty fan. Anybody else a Bounty fan? Anybody a Bounty fan out there? I feel like they're kind of a drag. Well, I wonder what they're gonna do next for the next set of weapons, huh? Speaking of which, like exotics and stuff. What did we get this weapon-wise? What did we get weapon-wise this last time? Oh, we got an SMG. Oh, and what are the modifiers gonna be, right? I think if I had a hunch, I would say it has something to do with hazard protection. Specifically against fire. What do you guys think? You think they'd be that clever? Or that boring? Depending on how you look at it.
How do you like my drive?
Because it pigeonhole is like only to be useful against cleaners. If they did it just fire, so hopefully they don't do that. Let's see, we gotta go down to go up. That's how these things fucking work. That Canadian guy. Oh, you got it, man. That's what we do. That's why we're here. Yeah, more to come too. We're working on some, a little bit behind on some new returning player stuff. 4 months now, though. You're getting caught up. It'd be smart if they gave us hazard protection, but didn't pigeonhole it all to fire. Good little workhorse build, huh? Just get it done.
That's not complete.
completely factually accurate. Claire did
Basically replace Slaughter. Think about it.
For my inflection
Ooh, almost one game you watch. Yeah,
program.
you're almost there.
But we are not the same. I've evolved
Backfill
beyond
that
our
library.
original programming.
Get your watch to 1,000. Start your mules.
Cassandra left you
Start your
another
mules if you
note
haven't
in
started doing that.
Constitution Hall.
Speaking of Chameleon, it's a nice little one. Damage to armor.
Looks like you earned yourself another bounty.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hazard protection from last season. You know, it was pretty cool. Felt good to have it, your hazard protection and your damage too, which is what we don't get right now. You throw on hazard protection, you're like, man, I don't have shit for damage unless you're a sniper build. Scout 9. All right, where's this gonna be? Constitution Hall. Patrol in some with the J, some with the O. Too much wife aggro. Yeah.
I'm in some pretty heated debate, but this little ray of sunshine is
Do they rogue? I don't know. I don't have much experience in the hardcore. I have a character. I haven't gotten too far with it, and it's on another account. Okay, so what are we looking at, folks? It says patrol, and I feel like that wants to say Jefferson, but that can't be right. Judiciary. That one makes sense. That's just 3 activities? What kind of sign language is it? What kind of language is this? You're right, though. It's 3 activities. It's 0 of 3, so. Alright, let's take on 3 activities then. Actually, let's do this one first. And then let's do the control point last, because sometimes next one is a control point. These are kind of cumbersome, you know? I feel like they made them a little too... Guess we should have these right, huh? Should be skill. You should be draw.
Hostile control point is nearby.
Yeah, but I hope they give us some useful gear, you know? None of that dead nonsense. Maybe shotguns this season? Or if they're coordinating, it could be more healer stuff because of the exotic backpack we're about to unlock. They gave us that exotic shotgun that nobody uses. So I don't know if we're lucky enough to get a new shotgun.
Incoming hostiles detected.
These guys are hardcore, huh? Emily Shaw crew just running around, blowing people up. Ooh, that's incoming, so we could take both of them. Let's do it. Doesn't, I mean, doesn't open up content too much. I mean, you get access to the clan vendor. I mean, you get friends to play with, hopefully. I mean, I'm not a big fan of blind invites, personally, but it doesn't hurt if you have a hard time, if you don't have a good way of making friends, you know. If you don't jump on bombs. That's the way to get the ball rolling. But it does open up raids if they're a raiding clan, but not every clan is. Oh, you dick!
Agent
Ah!
0.
Ugh. I mean, it's a way to get the party started, I guess, when it comes to that, making friends and whatever. But yeah, raids. I mean, there's some raid exclusive weapons, incursions, which is open for matchmaking, but it's harder. But not every clan does that stuff. Clans are kind of in a tough spot lately for the individual clans out there, because the game hasn't been kind, right, to the clans because of some, I guess, controversial game decisions where we'd get a lot of people who are saying, fuck it, I'm out of here, right? And that's hard on clans when the devs do that. The seasonal characters is a big one, which they obviously reversed that, but a lot of people had already quit the game. Modifiers was another one. There were people that didn't like modifiers or didn't give them a chance. And then the devs didn't do a very good job about onboarding for modifiers. I think they've done a better job. Basically, wasn't any onboarding. And so they used the entire season as basically testing grounds for modifiers. And because of that, we lose a lot of player base. And, you know, it makes it hard for people to retain clan members. So So I guess what I'm saying is, like, you know, clans have rules, right? And I think the clan leaders, in my opinion, have to be conscious of, you know, what else is going on in the game. Because our season, one of the things that's unique about the Division is that our seasons are really long. They are, you know, 4 months is a long fucking season. And so people have playtime requirements for the clans, and I think that also is a good idea to consider. But like, hey, you know, people are playing 90 out of the 120 days of the season, you know, they shouldn't be kicked out per se, you know. Long fucking season. Depends on how in demand the clan is too.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Let's go finish off that thing.
Friendly combatants detected.
They spotted.
Yeah, there's some there's good clans out there though, you know, that have been hanging tough and have a core group of players.
Coming for you. Take it out. Get away with that. Going round. Drop down. Go.
Do we still have the convoy, or do we lose it? Fuck, I might have lost it.
Hostile control point detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Yeah, but it's probably a good time, you know, to find an association, you know, a clan or a group of people and make a clan, whatever the case, because, you know, things are going to be piping up a little bit here and next month.
Friendly combatants combined.
A lot of good energy. You're going to want to, things are a little bit more fun if you have the ability to reach out to somebody or join up with people to take on some of this content.
Let's find
Like master missions and whatever. I kind of have a feeling like about the new DLC as an example, like I think it's going to be, I kind of have a feeling it's like the majority of it is just going to be a kind of like an incursion mission.
Hostile
Not like an
assault
incursion,
drone
but like
detected.
a big, like countdown kind of. I kind of have a feeling that maybe not 8 players, but you know what I mean? Like kind of that concept where it's just this one big semi-dynamic, but not fully dynamic, you know what I mean? Mission. Oh, shit. Which I think would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that, you know. Do I want a whole new map area? I mean, sure, but I also would like a really cool, repeatable, can play this mission over and over and over, you know. I mean, when they added just the new legendary strongholds, that brought a lot of content to the table in a way,
Friendly
right?
combatants detected.
Don't leave yourselves open.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what the full list is. Anybody has the full list for Scout 9? We're on the first one, which is 3 activities. We completed that. This one is, what is this one? Take down a little target. That's probably a high value target. So it's probably a bounty is the second one. Of course it is.
Vital signs critical.
Yeah. Come on.
Get up. Go fight a rogue for me. I'm gonna go find a bounty.
That was intense.
I got a complaints department, Canadian. You can give them a call. %100% satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. I know it eats up your stash, right? I have the same problem, man. I make really good builds that I really enjoy, and then I forget about them because I'm on to the next one, you know? It's not ADD either. It's like, ooh, let's take the test. It's a way to keep the game going forward, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people ask me like, hey, like, how do you not get bored of this game? You know, I've gotten that question a lot. Not lately, but in the past. I was like, you know, because when you change the build, even though you're playing the same old mission, first of all, it just makes it not as painful, but you don't even notice you're playing the same mission because you're focusing on the details or the experience of the build. The build provides a new experience. There's 2 experiences going on. One is the content you're pushing through, and the other one is the build. And so if the devs can't keep
Target is near you, Agent.
the content flowing at a crazy fast pace, which of course they can't, then you got to find other ways. And what do we call that? I always forget the word. Horizontal progression? Isn't that what they call that? Is that what they call that? Horizontal progression? I think that's what that's called. But it gives you the ability to create a different build experience instead of just vertically leveling up your build all the time. You can change your playstyle up. It takes a mature game in many cases to have that capability. Let's take the rope. Come back, drone. But I really look forward to that in games. I mean, like, one of the things that I enjoy about games is the tinkering with builds, you know. Like, I play the First Descendant a lot, and one of the downsides is, like, you have characters, and characters have builds. Characters are archetypes. But each character is, because the game is young and you know, there's not a ton of new different gear and all that stuff yet. You only have one build for each character, basically. You know, you can create 1 or 3 builds, up to 3 builds per character, but you're like, I already got a guy that does that, so I don't want another guy that does that. You know, it costs resources to make builds and stuff. So it's not as that's missing in that game for me. There's other games where that's missing too. It makes for a really interesting game when you can do that. And when a game is mature enough or has a good architecture to roll that out on day one or in endgame, you know what I mean? Early endgame, I should say, not day one, but early endgame. That's a really good game, in my opinion. And they could do that because they're experienced in the genre. Like if Ubisoft came up, for example, the developers, let's just say Massive, not Ubisoft, but if Massive came out with another game that wasn't a Tom Clancy Division 2, but it was a third-person looter shooter, we'd probably see some very similar elements in the game. Which could also be a bad thing, because you're like, I've played this game before. It's called The Division.
That's your target.
Sniper back there. Ooh, as soon as I put that overcharge on, he melted.
Target neutralized.
It's actually a pretty cool looking 12 months ahead, though, for the gaming market. It's some interesting games. I think we're going to see a lot. I think the way games are going to go is like sad but good. Is that I think that you're going to see them like tank really early. You know what I mean?
For keeping us safe,
I think people are just going to make up their minds about games really early in the game's life cycle. You know? It's going to hurt the industry, no doubt, but none of this, let's go 3 years and then decide the game sucks thing. But we got a lot of games coming down the pipeline right now. A lot of 2025 games, which tells me they're all going to hit in the winter. Yeah, I think Brooklyn's coming. And I think it's coming in May. I saw an article. Lucky, we'll be going live at 8. The video, it's going to be a pre-recorded session, it appears. And that's going to happen at 9 a.m. So we'll be mixing cocktails until that happens. What is this one? Progress 20? It's something. What do you think it is? Is it weak points or headshots? Anybody know? Weak points? Thanks, Tank. Weak points it is. Yay. More fucking weak points. Right? Shit. Just got done doing 600 fucking weak points last week. Oh, it's alright. 20's not bad. How do we get out of these places, though? This door? Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorry.
Detecting high threat enemy patrol.
Oh, that's what I was saying. There was an article I read yesterday where they said that they thought the game was coming that Ubisoft Forward was going to reveal the launch date. I was like, I think you got it wrong, and I fucking hope not. You know what I mean? And I hope that's not the case. No, I think we're gonna find out tomorrow. I think it's gonna be May. I hope. I will literally shit my pants if it's not. You know what I mean? If it's not next season, I'll be like, no fucking way. I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me, you know, at the same time. I mean, because there's a lot of restructuring going on over there, I'm sure, you know. Real world shit is happening out there, right?
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
So, you know, I could see them also, I mean, I could totally see it is a possibility that they show us more gameplay footage and reveal stuff, but the date is going to be pushed out. I mean, that is a real possibility. It's not what I'm expecting realistically, but no, I'm expecting to hear that this game is going to launch its DLC. Plus, I think they'd be into some crazy competition in the winter.
What the fuck?
Be good for their books, though. Close the year out strong. A lot, that's coming up a lot, Shamrock. A lot of people saying that. Oh, it'd be cool if they reveal a DLC. I mean, a Dark Zone in the DLC. A lot of people have been saying that. I've seen that comment a lot. Yeah. I mean, that's marketing's job, though, right, Metal Shocker? I mean, that's marketing's job. Yeah, you better fucking overhype it, because I don't want to be the only one buying this goddamn game. You know what I mean? In a way. But I know what you mean. They got to deliver, right? And more importantly, they got to make sure expectations are managed. And I think Marathon is doing some good stuff there too, right? Like, I think Marathon looks great. People are like, oh, it's another woke game. It's Concord 2.0. No, it isn't. You know, just because the girl's a robot and she doesn't have her tits hanging out doesn't mean she's fucking... All the girls are robots, right? You know what I mean? Marathon, you're a robot. Everybody's a robot. So, but just because their tits aren't hanging out doesn't mean it's a woke game. You know what I mean? And people are acting like that. It's kind of dramatic. I think the game looks good. Is it everybody's art style? Surely not. And that's okay. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean the game's woke and so it's broke. You know? And so I think...
Hostile control point.
Anyways, to kind of correlate to your question there, they hyped it hard, and then, you know, there was a reaction from the community. Half of people love it, the other half are saying all this dramatic stuff, right? So what they're doing is, which I think is smart, is they're releasing the NDAs for the alpha test, or the technical alpha test for this. So that's smart, you know what I mean? And I think that's what every game should do. You know what I mean? Lift the veil, man. Remove the mystery. You know, because we're not, especially if you're gonna make us pay for the fucking game, right? I think that's what we're sick of, right? Part of what we're sick of. It's just like, let me see the fucking gameplay. That's how we know shit. If we don't see any gameplay, it's frustrating, you know? It's the #1 indication of whether you're gonna like a game or not. You know, not the lore, not the story, the cinematic cutscenes. Well, I shouldn't speak for everybody. I mean, I think half of the people come for the action first, and awesome if the story hits, right? I'm here for the action though. Any game, I'm here for the play. If I want to watch a movie, I'll fucking go rent a movie. You know, I'm not saying lore doesn't matter, but I'm saying it's definitely secondary. I mean, lore can be just a concept too, right? They don't have to go into full-on story mode. Like, here's the setting, here's the RPG, use your imagination on the rest. So, you know what I mean? That works for me. It literally does. Yeah, they gotta show gameplay. They gotta show actual gameplay. You know, I like it when devs talk you through the gameplay too. Like they did that with Arc Raiders. But that was pretty cool. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just, we were talking about that with Ubisoft. They're massive earlier. It's just like, you should welcome. And I think Bungie's got the right attitude, man. They got a good attitude right now. Are you guys catching their attitude online? They're saying, hey, that's why they lifted the NDA. We want your fucking feedback. Because why? Why do we need your, even if you hate the game, we want your feedback. Because we want the game to fucking succeed, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you want the feedback, good or bad. And Massive isn't about that. You know what I mean? They only want the good feedback. You give them bad feedback, you'll be just like Tux. You know what I mean?
Heavily armored hostile.
Camp on the camp playlist. You know, so it's like, but you want that feedback. That's how your game gets good. You know, diversity of opinions from the core audience, not just randoms. We're not randoms, right? We are the people that drive the game. We're the people that they want. Yeah, whatever they release needs to bring players, yeah. Tomorrow, Dragonia, that's the idea. They're saying a Year 7 showcase tomorrow. So I expect a roadmap.
I'm not done with you. I'll smash you to pieces.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. You know. I mean, not like entirely, but I think if it's pretty direct, they are, I gotta say. I think they require, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think they require, like, what do you call it, like kitty gloves? You know what I mean? Like, I think they're kind of sensitive a little bit. So I think they do take constructive, they allow constructive criticism if it's like, if it's very gentle, I guess, you know? In other words, semi-censor.
Request.
Yeah, they are, and they know it, you know, and so's Warframe, you know. Muno's raiding! What up? Give me a second, I'll do a shout out. Welcome, everybody.
I'm reloading.
We are talking Division 2, Year 7, roadmaps, feedback, what to expect for tomorrow
Incoming hostiles detected.
while doing our scouts. Week 9. Shout out here. Get your people. Support the club.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Be on fire. Be on fire. It's hot. It's hot. All right, make sure you go click on that link and give Immuno a follow. Am I saying your name right? Immuno? Is it Immuno?
I've got you. We need a amazing shot.
This guy was weak point. Oh, shit. Wasn't expecting you, buddy. Get out of here. I'm trying to pick these weak points, so it's kind of awkward. Yeah, so I mean, I like Bungie's attitude right now. I think they have a really nice reaction. It's like, hey, and people are like, oh, they're worried. They're not worried. I think they're like, hey, let's remove people. The community's worried. Let's show them that they have nothing to be worried about. We're confident about our game, and but still, we want your feedback. We want it to be perfect. It can always be better with the more feedback we get. And so let's remove the veil and get that feedback, you know? I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. It's a really good reaction. Very positive to a very toxic situation, because people are being really toxic about it. I don't think they said anything about Determined, Aubrey. It's been around for a while. I mean, I'd be surprised if they changed it.
We're being flanked.
I mean, I would be disappointed. It's nice, but it's not absolutely required. They do a general lately for the past 3 seasons now. They've been doing a general pass of rebalancing the game with every season, or every at least major season or year break-in, I guess we'll say. They did it twice, right? This last year, rebalancing of things. So when they do that, yeah, there'll be a few nerfs in there. I mean, they nerfed the Lexington. Not bad. They've set a precedence, though. They've set an expectation, so I think things won't hit as hard anymore. I think, you know what I mean? We'll still get some people complaining, of course, and you know, I'm kind of been there, done that with it. I'm kind of over it. My argument was like, why are you nerfing a 7-year-old game with ridiculous, dumb nerfs? You know what I mean? Like, they're not even like cool nerfs. They're like, oh god, thank god they nerfed that. It's like, what? You took 2% crit chance off a Cheska? Like, why? Oh, I'm sorry, was Cheska overpowered? I wasn't even running Cheska. You know what I mean? Still don't run Cheska. I'm forced to running Cheska because of the knee pads, but I don't run Cheska. No need to anymore. Yeah, so there's just some weird nerfs in there, you know, for the sake of balancing.
You unmasked the recruiter as Agent Ryan Johnson. At least that asset activated.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible that some people have played Battle for Brooklyn or have witnessed it in action, but we won't know for sure. But my guess is probably. And if so, I think we might hear some of it tomorrow about people's reactions. Because recently they had a bunch of people fly out to the studio. And I know they saw it, but how much did they see? That's a good question, right? But I'm sure they're going to give their reactions, you know. I think that's why they brought them there, you know. So they can get their reactions on camera and get their buy-in. It's pretty interesting if you think about it. Because you know that they got their reactions on camera and recorded so that they can't... they can't later say the DLC shit, right? I mean, it's pretty smart if you think about it. Like, let's get all the influencers in here and get their positive reactions on camera while they're excited because we paid for their vacation to Sweden. And let's get them saying, yeah, hi, my name is Joe Schmo, your favorite Division 2 content creator, and this is a really exciting season. You're gonna love everything that they have. You know what I mean? But they haven't played it, or haven't played it enough to give an honest review, but that's smart of them to do. I mean, in the end, we all want the Division 2 to succeed.
Over there.
That was the last one.
So kudos for the Des being clever. I know, Chris. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier.
Access unlocked.
Yeah. You don't think Determined's going anywhere, Zane? Here's the thing about the devs, okay? Like, don't be surprised by these nerfs, because it's not a matter of them like, oh, it's not on their radar. That's not the situation. The situation is that they're very limited staff and budgets. And so their nerfs, they kind of bundle everything together, right? And they go after it. Now, the truth is, it's crazy. And so I agree with you to some degree, because Determined has made it through several passes of nerfs. But a lot of those nerfs weren't at talents. They were at weapons. You know? They nerfed the weapons. But they did nerf, and then they nerfed gear sets, but they haven't really gone after weapon talents too much, have they? I mean, they did buff some, though. Thinking out loud here. Because they did buff Killer. I think we did everything with that, right? Yeah, we did. So they buffed Killer. So that took a drive. Yeah, it's interesting. But anyways, my point is that, so sometimes, like, we saw the Scorpio get a nerf after how many fucking seasons? Scorpio was around forever. A year, 2 years? I mean, it was around for like 2 years before they did that. At least it was something like that, right? That's crazy to nerf it. Okay, we were just running whatever build is to get that shit done, so you guys know. Let's go back to the build we're working on. So yeah, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if 6 years later they came around and nerfed the Determined talent, you know, especially when there's something like Turmoil out there. Lady Death, did it take a hit or get a buff? It kind of got both, right? They buffed it. I don't remember it taking. Yeah, it did take a nerf. Yeah, because they nerfed the Banshee. Yeah. So it was like a roundabout nerf. I think Metal Shocker. I was trying to say this earlier. I think that Battle for Brooklyn is gonna be like Countdown, except more story lore tied to it. You know what I mean? I think like the whole zone is gonna be like one big mission. It's almost gonna be like an incursion. I think that's what it's gonna be like. I don't think it's gonna. They're gonna open the map because I think they're gonna give us some aesthetics and stuff like that. But I think the whole zone is gonna be like just one big old mission. I don't think there's gonna be a ton of free roaming. Kind of like Coney Island, and like all of these, right? Like all these expansions out here, right? There's no like, they're whole new zones, but you don't free roam the zone. It's just like one incorporated mission, you know? Which I think would be cool if it was really replayable. So the question is, you know, what mechanics are going to go into that mission? And that is the real question, you know? Do we really just want another extended New York map? I mean, would that really be fun? Another control point, a bunch of cleaners roaming around, maybe one mission in there, standard mission you'd get bored of after you played it once. Is that really what you want? Some of you might say yes. Me personally, I don't. You know, I don't just want another mission and some open world control points. I mean, I already don't do half of the fucking control points we have. So I don't need more that I don't do. You know, what I need is like a really engaging mission that feels like I can play over and over and over again because it's dynamic and I don't get bored of it. And Countdown has that. It's just that it's so easy and it's so, you know, casual. And that's how they designed it. And so it serves its purpose. But now we need one that's more engaging. Countdown is super relaxed, right? You go in there, you're farming, you got 8 guys shooting at one target. It's not really a challenge, except for the end fight. You know, so something like, you know, like Paradise Lost without the mechanics, which is basically like Countdown, something that crosses over there, which is basically our master difficulty missions. Our climax missions are that, right? There's mechanics, but they're not hard to do mechanics. They're interesting mechanics. You're like, okay, I got to figure this out. There's an order here. There's a puzzle. That's fucking awesome. I think they did a really good job with that master difficulty. Do I go in there and play it a lot? No. Because some things about it are annoying. But, and plus, you know, they don't allow there's reasons, let's just say. But they did a good job. I enjoyed it. And I look forward to more of that. And I hope they learn every time they roll out a new master difficulty and how to make the next one better and better and better. But that's an expansion to the game when they bring that, because again, like Legendary, when they added the Legendaries, it's like we got all of this new gameplay experience, you know? And it was a way to open up the repetitive gaming loop. Because as you advance, you're looking for more difficult content to put yourself through the test. It's more interesting for you. I mean, I don't play heroic missions. It's way too easy. So it's the legendary stuff are the missions that are the only ones I want to play. And I would do these master difficulties more, but I don't like that they make you only use last season's directives. I would like to use current directives, modifiers, that is. So anyways, so it would be really cool if there's this survival-esque thing. Maybe it's, maybe there's like, you got to fight hordes of cleaners to get through this battle for Brooklyn. I mean, they're calling it a battle for Brooklyn. I want to see a fucking battle. And I want to be in it. You know what I mean? Sign me up, bro. Sign me up for the battle. Shit, I'm enlisting. I'm enlisting. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be another PvP. Was it after 5 years? Is that how old that Scorpio was? Is it 5 years? Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I think you might be right, Zane. Yeah. I mean, they did feature the Lexington in there. Is it really the Lexington in the trailer, or is it the St. Elmo's? I don't know. But yeah, they're trying to find a way. What up, Mylena? Is it Mile? Mlelina. Just making up names over here. So yeah, they're calling it Battle for Brooklyn. So I'm thinking there's going to be something big there. You know, there's going to be story, but there's going to be this culmination of events, and it's going to go down. What happens to the Division 2 if the DLC fails? I don't know, man. We got a bunch of psychos in the Division 2, right? I mean, we've been here. The Division 2's failed before, and we're still here. You know, I think what happens is the game flattens its curve, continues to bleed players to other really good games that are just around the corner. And then everybody comes back into Division 3. Right on, Lena. Can I call you Lena? Because I'm not sure if I'm saying your first name right. Is it Millie? Mile? Thank you for subbing. I mean, the Division 2 is such a good game. Like, there's always going to be this player base. Like, there are people, this part blows my fucking mind. And I know some of you are these people. There are people out there playing this game without modifiers. That's fucking crazy. But cool. You know what I mean? Dedicated player base. They're still having fun, apparently. Even without the current content. And I say it's crazy because that's what's current. That's all they're providing. For the past... what will be 8 months, right? What will be 8 months now. We've gotten nothing new, just what has been distracting us or keeping our attention are the modifiers. Yeah, that's true, Viking. They'll let it run. You know, I know there's not a lot of attention on what's going on financially with Ubisoft right now, but shit's still going down over there. You know, the Tencent deal's not done. They're getting sued. They're losing developers. I mean, developers are leaving on their own because they're afraid of collapse or that they're afraid they're going to lose their job. So, you know, what would you do? You know, what would you do? Wait to get fired, or would you start sniffing around for another job if you were a developer working for Ubisoft? I mean, that's, you know. Yeah, Metal Shocker, I think they learned, right? That's the thing. They use an entire season. It's like this because they don't have the staff, but they use an entire season as testing ground, and then they'll improve on it the next season. You know, because that's the best they can do. And I get it. It sucks though. It makes it slow, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ubisoft, I mean, so they take their best IP and move it to the new organization, right? Leaving what I mean, if they take there's no other way to say it, so I'm just gonna say it this way. If they take their best IP, what do they leave behind? Well, their worst IP, right? In their eyes. And so if they're leaving their worst IP with the original company, and it feels like they're putting all their eggs in one of the two baskets. Because if you wanted to balance things out, you'd think you would be like, if you wanted both companies to succeed, you'd think you would balance it out. Okay, Rainbow Six over here, Assassin's Creed over there, Far Cry over here. You know what I mean? You'd think you would divvy it up a little bit. But they're like, no, let's leave Skull and Bones and Division 2 over there. You know, it's like, fuck. You know, this company's going to be parted out. We're in a chop shop. Isn't the worst thing, though, right? I don't know if that'll happen, but, you know, we're in an interesting place. Nothing's... This isn't over. Nothing's actually happened, right? All we got was Assassin's Creed not doing really well, and that was an important milestone for this franchise. We needed Assassin's Creed to hit hard. It was lukewarm, basically. It did okay, you know, but they weren't game-saving or company-saving numbers. And then they quickly pivoted all of that media into an announcement with Tencent, right? Because the media was starting to stack up against Assassin's Creed, and it was a PR. Everybody said it was a PR move too, right? Like they came out and they said, like, "Hey, look, we got this new deal. Company saved." You know, hark the angels. And nobody's talking about Assassin's Creed anymore. Everybody was talking about the new deal. So it's, yeah, I don't know. Every game gets the game is dead comment. Every game. People out there saying that about Warframe and Destiny and every game. COD, Call of, whatever. That comment is out there everywhere. But they made, it's $1 billion franchise, right? It is. It's a really good franchise, you know? And it's got a really good name tied to it. They got the rights to Tom Clancy behind this. That's fucking money, you know? It's built on their proprietary engine as well. That's recently got updates. Thanks to X Defiant and Avatar. I mean, if you think about that, that was a pretty smart move, you know? They get these investors to pull in on these high market value titles like Avatar and X Defiant, pulling millions, hundreds of millions, and they reinvest that into some of that into Snowdrop, right? That's cool. We pulled benefit out of that. Things started to look prettier around here. Look, Metal Shocker, like, here's the deal. No matter what happens, I've been saying this for a long time. No matter what happens with the DLC, it's going to be controversial. It's going to be. You know, there are people that are going to hate it and there are going to be people that love it. The reason why is because this is the deal. The community doesn't trust these developers. They don't trust that they understand what they want. They don't communicate with us. You know, every now and again we get a notification that there's a patch, and I mean, this is the most communication we've had in a long time, which is 2 dev live streams and across 4 months, right? So, you know, nobody knows what's going on, and there's a real disconnect where that's not the trend right now, right? The trend is to connect with your player base. It seems really obvious. They have the staff, they have community managers, they have project managers. That's their role, is to connect with Metal Shocker, to connect with Parabellum and Zane and Kyle, everybody, right? They're supposed to connect with us somehow. They're supposed to learn our behavior and what we want and ask us and talk to us and tell us and explain to us the big picture, you know? And then they roll something out like Descent, and it's just like, fuck, who asked for this? You know? And they're like, nobody, but we're throwing it out there. This is welcome to season 1 of year 6, and we're gonna use this as basically an alpha test and see if you guys like it. And if you don't, then we're gonna tweak it, and that's all the budget we have for. So, you know, oh well. Moving on to the next project, and we're like, shit, that was millions of dollars. You guys know how many millions goes into something like that? Millions. And it's gone, right? It's gone. I mean, the Descent, it kind of sucks. I know some people like it, but it sucks. I mean, look at the Summit. It's ghost town. The Summit could be so much more, you know? The Pentagon, all these unused areas. Kenley College, that's a running joke, right? And so it's, if there's more interaction and more feedback, a better feedback loop, I think we'd have more success on our deliveries. And so that will, because of that, that's going to cause concern. What am I saying? You know, it's going to cause, what's the word I'm looking for? Backlash, basically, on that delivery of the DLC, no matter what happens, you know. It's important, in my opinion, like, because we get this a lot too. People are like, just fucking close down Division 2, roll out Division 3 already. Division 3 would just pick up at the same spot, right? We don't trust these devs to deliver what we're looking for. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to pay for these cosmetics, you know. If I might just quit this game in 6 weeks because they keep delivering shit. Remember, like, we got 2 seasons in a row of like the worst exotics and gear you can imagine. That was the least I have ever played this game, you know. And I wanted to play the game. I was just like, man, this was such bad gear. I don't have anything to do. I mean, gear is a big part of this game. They delivered horrible gear, right? I was just like, man, hard to put hours in here. So, like, how does that happen? How do they get there, right? They do have a focus group, apparently. And so, you know, I'm kind of used to that. I'm accustomed to it, but that's what's going to happen, you know. And I think that they need a campaign to earn the players' trust. It needs to be organic, and it's as simple as giving us more face time or talking about things, being upfront about things. If there's a nerf, just tell us there's a nerf, man. Don't hide it, you know, and pretend like we're not going to fucking notice, because that's happened, right? Like when they released the modifiers the first time, they had nerf. There was a big nerf series that had gone out, and we had this whole live stream with the devs, and they were talking about all the new content that was coming, and not one time did they mention the nerfs. Somebody in the chat said, hey, your St. Elmo's only has 50 rounds in it. It's supposed to have 70, something like that. And they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing a rebalancing of things, you know. It was like, well, shit, when were you gonna bring that up? That doesn't create trust, right? That doesn't create trust when you're not upfront about things. Let us, you know, yeah, we're gonna fucking hate nerfs, we're gonna hate rebalancing, we're gonna love it, we're gonna hate it, we're gonna love it. Doesn't matter, it is what it is. You made your decision. Justify it, stand by it, you know. Hear our feedback and adjust if you need to, whatever, but, you know, we're big boys and girls. Yeah, well, kind of, Metal. I think that if they do it pre-recorded, here's the deal. I mean, you're right. It is a little concerning if it's a pre-recorded video. But also their live streams aren't very engaging. They're not very exciting, right? I mean, that's like the number one thing you think. That's the number one comment you see on every single live stream. They always say, man, I wish they're so boring. I wish we had better presenters, right? People are always saying that, right? So if you're trying to sell a DLC, you don't want that boring presentation. So I hope it's hyped up, you know, but it needs to be revealing too. I think we need to see gameplay. I mean, tomorrow my expectations are, you know, that we get a hype trailer, fine. we get a launch date, we get a price, and we see actual gameplay, non-spoiler gameplay, you know. That's just welcome to 2025, you know. It's just not okay to not show us gameplay. If we get that, I'm satisfied, you know. Then we'll talk about it, critique it, but it's too late, okay? Like, it is too late. There's going to be no feedback session on this. That's the way this goes with the Division 2. That's the way this goes. There's going to be no feedback, guys. The only feedback that they're looking for is, does it work? Does it not work? If it doesn't work, what are the bugs? We'll patch those up in 6 weeks. But you're going to have to live with them. And any other feedback, they are considering, so I'm not going to pretend that they're not. They are considering it, but it's going to be somewhere down the road, maybe a season later, because resources, right? It's not because they don't care. It's something, it's a tradition based on the resources that they have, the support that they have. We have to remember, this all started because they were planning on abandoning the Division 2, and so they lost the resources. We used to have state of the game until then, right? Those people work for other studios now or other IP. Yeah, $15 is cheap. Yeah. I mean, you got to pay, you know. They're going to make their money one way or the other. So, you know what I mean? So they'll deliver whatever package presentation we're going to get tomorrow. We will have our feedback, but it's just our feedback. It's not going to change shit. You know what I mean? But that's okay. I mean, we're going to give it anyways around here. We're going to say how it is. If it's awesome, we're going to call it awesome. You know, if it's a big pile of steaming shit, we're going to say so. You know what I mean? We're just going to say so. And if this is gonna, I'm gonna play it no matter what. That's my job, right? So I'm gonna be like, look, guys, I don't know about this one. You know, if you're not all in, then wait on the sidelines. I'll play it. I'll live stream it. I'll let you'll see it. You know, if it's all buggy and shit, that's not gonna go well. You know what I mean? That's not gonna go well. Because that's what I did the last couple of seasons, right? Not this season, but the season before. I was like, hey, look, if you're not all in, man, like, you know, it is pretty buggy. Like, if you know, come back to the Division 2 in a couple of weeks or in a month when they fix this shit out. Because it was pretty buggy when they rolled out modifiers originally. I was enjoying them, but it was buggy. I was like, if you're on the fence, you might want to wait a couple of weeks. Smart. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be buggy. There'll be bugs, right? But yeah, it better be smooth as smooth can be. I agree. Shit goes haywire when you roll it onto a real server, a live server. So I'm being realistic, but high quality release. They've been doing a little bit better lately, right? A little bit. I mean, I still have my audio bug, but hey, they've been doing a little bit better. I mean, the last couple of patches launched on time, right? 2 in a row, I think. But yeah, I'm rooting for them though, man. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the game. I'm rooting for this DLC. I want it to hit. I'm excited. So let it roll. All right, everybody. I'm gonna call it though. Appreciate the chat. Love hanging with you guys. But we got shit to do, man. Videos to make. So look forward to it. We got the links above for the watch party on YouTube. And then, of course, if you're on Twitch, just make sure you give a follow. And we will be having Twitch drops that start tomorrow and go for a week. I think they run to the 28th. So we'll have that going on tomorrow. And I'll be streaming all week so you guys can take advantage. All right, everybody, I'll catch you later. Thanks for your support. Fingers crossed. It's going to be hot tomorrow, man. All right.